I want to talk to you about a bit about, this new show. And we were talking about this idea of you get to play these two parallel lives, which kind of with everything you're talking about is fascinatingly connected. And I love that idea of parallel universes, of multiple lives, of the multiverse right now is
such a big thing
and a big talking point.
Yeah.
When you're playing these roles, how much of these roles are you identifying with, especially I guess like moving to LA for a career that's very much in line with you.
Yeah.
And then obviously becoming a pregnant mother.
I haven't experienced that
one
yet,
you haven't experienced. Like when you're doing that, how much of what you've just talked about that you're interested in kind of feeds into those roles, and when you're playing those roles and becoming these new identities?
Well, for the film, people ask, like, was it so hard to play two different characters? No, it's the same woman. So it's the same girl, just experiencing two very different things. And so that was amazing to play this woman, and I know who she was, and I created her as a character. I knew what she valued, what she wanted, and I was, we're fortunate enough as an audience to see both things play out. It is weird because I'm very into, I do have those existential, like, if I did make this decision, what would have happened?
Yeah, sliding doors.
And how would things have panned out? And the reason why I loved the script so much when I read it was she's okay in both lives. She ends up being okay.
Wow.
And there is no one path that you go, oh, that was the right path or that was the wrong path. It's truly just two different paths. Yeah. And I think, especially in your 20s, things happen every day. Relationships end, things, people, you can get pregnant and you think, oh, my whole life is just gone, or my whole world is shifting. And I don't think that's has to be a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think there are millions of ways your life can turn out. Mm-hmm. It's based off decisions you make every single day, but in the end, things are okay.
Yeah.
Things end up okay. I think if you stop and put too much thought into every decision you make, you're going to live a very treacherous life of feeling like you're walking on eggshells. I think it's a matter of saying, I personally like to look at it as the universe has my back.
Yeah.
And so I think this film also resonates with how I feel in that regard of this woman she had a positive pregnancy test and a negative one. And you see two possible scenarios out of a million of what her life could have been. Mm-hmm. And you see the journey she goes on through both, and how she still has the same ambition, and she doesn't lose herself in having a child. She still stays who she is, and she doesn't lose her ambition. And when she goes to LA and goes through the hardships of trying to make her career work, she doesn't give up. It's sort of a perseverance story, and how you don't have to lose yourself in the things that happen to you. You can still stay you.
Yeah. The thing that resonates most with me with that message and the whole conversation we've had today is this idea that even in one life, you can be so many things.
Yeah.
And I think we always are trying to make this choice, as you're saying, like, it's like, well, do I do this? And how will that impact me? Or do I do this? And it's like, you could probably do both.
Yeah.
You've lived so many different lives. And I know most
people.
So
have you.
Yeah, and so have I. And most people I know have lived loads of different lives. And I think we feel forced to live one life and one truth. And I don't think that's true for anyone in reality. And when you force yourself to live one life and one truth, you actually limit what you started with, was with all these experiences and all these experiments and an openness to all these feelings. So, I like that idea of the two lives into ultimately that both work out okay.
Yeah.
And recognizing in one life you can live 3 lives or 7 and things can be okay.
Yeah.